What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3 Star Draw. I am Down South 77. This is an adult collector channel where we primarily talk about G.I. Joe Classified and some other G.I. Joe stuff once in a while. And as you can see, I like to pick up some other stuff from other lines that interest me. I'll do a video on that, bring you guys along for the ride, and as we go down that toy rabbit hole. And we're going back down that toy rabbit hole again today, and we are going for a ride, and not with something that is G.I. Joe, but something that is G.I. Joe. What is the word that a lot of people are using now for some of the stuff? Adjacent. And that word is very fitting. And in the words of the person that actually designed this toy, they are made to complement your 1/12 scale action figure toys. That is what they are designed for, to complement your toys, all of your toys, not just G.I. Joe. Now, I am somebody who has had a history, and I mean all through growing up, I didn't mix my toys. I didn't mix my Joes with my Star Wars. I didn't mix Transformers and He-Man. I played G.I. Joe, I played Star Wars, whatever. Once in a while, I'd try to bring in some other character. It just never worked. And somehow that is stuck with me into adulthood, as ridiculous as I think it is. Now it's kind of still how it is. So I was able to pick up a Ramen Racer. Thing is new in the box. And I did not pick it up from a reseller. I picked it up from a toy store. When I first saw this, I hadn't gotten back into collecting really heavy at all when the Kickstarter for this was going on. Now, we know the Kickstarter took a long time. There were people, going, oh, where's it at? Where's it at? It's been in development for so long, whatever, whatever. I didn't know about any of that because I wasn't doing this. I was in a extended lull in collecting, and then I got back in with classified. So I really didn't know about this until last year and some point. And I just kept hearing about it, and I started looking it up. I'm like, man, that thing looks awesome. Like, it's a Charger. The HasLab did not fund, so Ramen said, you know what, I'll give you one. I'm going to make it. I'll make it. And that was what I heard was, why is it taking so long? All of that stuff. And then finally people started getting this thing earlier this year, back in, what was it, like April, May. People started actually getting this in hand, and I watched a couple reviews, most notably Lawrence at A Punk with Toys. He did a really, really nice review on this. He's got a friend that actually picked it up and let him review it. It's a nice in-depth review that I'm going to refer back to. But it's like, man, that thing is really cool. So then that got me thinking, you could use that. You could use that with some Joes or, whatever. I know people are buying it for Blade and, all kind of stuff. And there's a Dukes of Hazzard one. How can you not like the Dukes of Hazzard one? Did not find that one at retail, that's for sure. So then I went to Joe Fest this year. My cousin and I went down to Joe Fest and met up with a bunch of good friends down there. And Ramen Toys was there. And I actually met Ace. Briefly, I didn't talk to him for an extended period, but I spoke to him and talked to him about his toys for a few minutes. But most notably, everything that he had or new stuff that he's got coming out, he had at Joe Fest. So I got to see it for myself, and man, this stuff is so nice. Looks fantastic, quality made. It's just blown away by the stuff that you can get from a toy company that is making stuff to complement your other lines. So I was thrilled after scouring the internet, and I finally found one, and I may have gotten the last one at retail or something similar to retail. eBay, Mercari. I've seen them for sale in private groups, but I have not been able to find one. So I started doing some research and started looking up partners that carry that stuff. And I found one that honestly was about what you would have paid for it if you had ordered it after whatever the early bird price was. So I couldn't have been more thrilled to get a hold of it. So I'm really excited to get this out. I'm really excited to get some more ramen stuff. I've got some other ramen stuff ordered. So it's of course going to be a little bit before it gets here, but it is ordered because now I know, and knowing is half the battle. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ramen Racer, get this thing out and get it put together. Now I am probably not going to film the whole process of it. There's other people out there that have done it that can do it better than I can, so I'm probably just going to kind of do it in stages, showing what each stage looks like coming out of the box, and then I'll assemble it and, you know, show it at various stages or if I have trouble with it or whatever. But I'm excited, so let's get this done. All right. Go ahead. Slice this open. I'm excited to get this out. Thing is so cool. I have no idea where I'm going to put it either. That is one of my other concerns is I keep saying it. I keep telling you guys I got to rearrange this room. I really got to rearrange this room because I don't have anywhere to put my stinger yet. My stinger's just kind of floats around. I don't have anywhere to put my stinger, and I just traded some stuff and got another stinger. So yeah, I don't exactly know where I'm going to put everything. So we've seen these corner protectors before. That's kind of how the Hiss tank came. I'm sure the Dragonfly will probably also come with that. So these just lift out. So we got our Ramen Racer. And we're just going to have to kind of dump it out. Oh, there's some on the bottom too. Looky there. So there we go. There is our box for the racer. Like the box for it, like the box art. Um, Definitely tell what inspired the box art for it. It's obviously from Death Death Proof, but Death Proof was not the first movie that used a similar style. So let's see, we got our flaps, so no tape on them, which is good. I'm gonna wind up knocking Voltron over here before this review is over. So it just comes out. Nice little styrofoam brick there. I like that. All right, well, since mine is the base version up here, guessing normally would be got our instructions, but don't have much up here. That's where all of the the flame effects go. Do have up here bumper,
And I think that's the gas cap, and not really sure exactly what that is. I guess we'll find out. Get that off. That's how our car comes packaged. Man, that thing looks so nice. So very nice. So it just lifts right out. There we go, straight out of the box. So I don't have too much to put together on mine, so that is good. Man, just look at that thing. Is so nice looking. I should really be talking, but I'm just busy ogling, so we'll get to that in just a minute. There is your USB-C if you want to have a continual power source hooked up to it, which is genius because that's where you put the gas cap back on. So I'm thinking those are probably the center caps for the wheels. Now these wheels do screw on, and as I said, I don't have that interchange pack. I do want to get it. I don't necessarily need the Inferno pack. I do want to get the interchange pack though. So just kind of look at it from four sides, and then these do slide shut. So it just feels good. It feels solid. This is not a cheap feeling toy at all. Man, look at that. That's how you that's how you do an engine. Looks amazing. And of course the engine just pops right out. And all nice and shiny and chrome. I'm sure could it have some black accents and stuff on it? Sure it could, but I'd rather take a bunch of shiny solid chrome over just black and just plain. So got the scallops there on the doors like it should. And there's what our bottom looks like, and you can actually move the seats with those two levers there. And got all black here, pretty detailed for underneath the bottom. And then of course we do have chrome Y exhaust dualed out on each side. Well, dual tips, I guess. So it actually has quad tips. Door opens up, and you can see, if you can see in there, trying to catch the light. I can't tell if it's hitting it or not. It actually says Ramen Racer on the floor mats. It's a really nice detail there. I'm going to try and get a little closer, better shot inside the interior if I can. So stick shifter does move around a little bit, does move back and forth a little bit, don't move a whole lot. So it's got the trigger console shift on it. Sure, you push that button on the center knob, shift. Have nice shiny mirrors. And the pedals are chromed. Got the gauges. And don't turn. Why was I thinking that that turned? Thinking the wheel turned it. Have to do a little more investigating on that. Thinking the wheel turned it. And the seats do actually move forward as well as recline forward, so you shouldn't have much trouble getting four figures in this guy. And these cars do set pretty low to the ground, but I like the texture, if you can see that. on the seats. It's got that vinyl pleather look that a lot of the cars of that era had. Now, this would have been an upgrade on the interior on most cars. But I think the peanut butter trim on the interior, the brown, I think it really sets the black off, makes it look, really makes it stand out. But the attention to detail on this thing, you get with the chrome mirrors, chrome door handle, with the push button lock, you get your window trim. Have to be careful with that A mirror or that A window there. That one's just a little, pops right back in, but that means somewhere that it's bent. But I mean, it's not any big deal. You just have to shut the door and make sure pop that back in. It's fine. It's not broken or anything. It doesn't fit, just slightly out of true. And get our door shut all the way. I think this thing looks fantastic. See how well taped this is. I have a thing about just ripping it open. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have. I got tape stuck to the bumper. And now I got tape stuck to my finger. So this bumper is magnetic. It should just pop on there. Go ahead and cut this. Save us a little time on this one. So the caps, I did not realize that the center caps are magnetic. There's a gas cap. I gotta see where these go. These are like, oh, these go up underneath the bumper. That's right. We got our gas cap. Just gonna, it's got a notch in it there. You can line it up with that notch. There you go. And it does. It is not magnetized, but it does fit in there. It does fit in there pretty well. It fits pretty flush, so I don't think you got to worry about it going anywhere. Not like you're going to be turning it upside down that often, I wouldn't think. So that's a nice touch. I didn't realize those were magnetized. For the center caps on your Krager style wheels. I wonder how much trouble to get off they're going to be, though. Just curious. Okay, well, they're not going to be that bad to get off. They do stay on very well. Move my knife there before somebody gets hurt, namely me. We got our bumper just fits on, and these should slide in somewhere. I realized I wasn't showing it. Let's see. I think those go right there. They're not going in very well, though. All right, well, time to consult the manual. All right, that took a little doing. I had to consult the instructions there because I just wasn't seeing it. So these are not meant to go on with the bumper. And they just slot in back to front. So I said, I had them on just a second ago, I promise. And they actually do fit on there pretty well once you finally get them on. All right, so those go on like that. And they do fit in there pretty well. I don't have them in super tight, but just to show what they look like with them in there. They fit in kind of weird. I still don't have them in there good, but you get an idea of the look. Makes it look pretty mean. You can pop those closed. So with them open, with these open, it's kind of hard to see the General Lee, but with them closed, you can see it pretty easy. So I was trying to put those on with the bumper, and they don't go on with the bumper. They go on instead of the bumper. So you can have the look with the bumper on, and then not use these. And then I was trying to figure out where this piece went, and it's the centerpiece. If you want to have chrome centerpiece for the grill, I like it, but I also kind of like it blacked out too. You can kind of do either. And also, the easy way to get the centerpieces out is with that. Comes right out. Genius. The innovation in this thing is just off the chain. It really is. Like thing's a home run. I'd love to be able to get a hold of the General Lee version. So I said we'd go back to the trunk. So in the trunk, I didn't have it locked in there. We'll set it off to the side for now. So in the trunk, you have the battery pack. It has a rechargeable battery pack. Man, that thing right there is on there pretty good. There we go. Aha, so I was wrong. It does not come with the battery. This is to store the battery in and put in the trunk, and you put the battery through there. You have to buy the battery separately, which makes sense, I guess, since they shipped it over from China and lithium ion batteries going through customs and all of that jazz. But think about how many Chinese lithium ion batteries come from over there. It's kind of weird, but I do understand it. People do not like shipping batteries. So under here, till we get our battery for it, we've got our USB port And we got our charge port to light it up. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to go grab a battery pack. I have something close by to charge it up or power it up. So we'll be right back. All right, you guys. So here we are back with the Racer. So it has been a couple days. It's been more than a couple days since I got this and since I'm filming what you're listening to right now. I needed to do some referencing to put the car together because I had a couple things that just didn't really seem like they were going together right. Most notably the bumper supports up here in the front. I was having an issue getting those in. So I've got it all put together now and I love it. I have one issue with it. You got a couple little minor things to point out. Nothing that is not already known on one of them, but I've got a couple of things that I do want to point out. So I got this dude in here. I don't have a Ghost Rider figure, and if I did, he wouldn't be in here anyway. So I got this guy in here. I just thought that looked absolutely badass putting that Mythic Legion skeleton in here. So I'm going to try and get some other skeletons and stuff in here at some point. So what I wanted to point out, stuff that I had some difficulty or some issue with, and these guys right here. I was kind of struggling with what to do with those where they tab in these slots underneath here. The tolerances are really, really tight, and I felt like I was going to break the little tab that fits in there. And my other issue was that this bumper, the front bumper, was a little bit looser than what I felt like it needed to be. And after I did some more research, I guess, some more looking around, I felt a little more confident that these are supposed to go on with the bumper, and the bumper is not necessarily at all feeling loose anymore. You don't want to move it around too much because these are in good. They will go in pretty tight here, right there. They do snap up in there tight and they do hold the bumper well. You just want to be careful with those tabs. You kind of have to go in from the back at an angle and push up and work them up there. And if you can, it helps to hold the bumper up a little bit while you do it. I don't know if Ace would ever see this video, but I would recommend trying to use a little smaller or a little larger or more powerful magnet um, in future projects. It stays on. It's not going to fall off by nature. It just feels like it's a little loose, and then you put the guards on, and it's good. So you want to be careful with those. I'm sure it's been pointed out before. The doors, where they're a little bit larger because these are held together by tension, but if you push them in, they're seamless. I mean, it's not a big deal or anything. You just, to get the seamless look, you want to make sure you kind of push in like that. And the driver door is the same way. So I've had them open because I was putting this guy in there. Doesn't this dude look awesome? Looks so good in there. Um, Really, the other thing, the finish, this matte finish on it, it's going to scratch pretty easily. I know that has been pointed out before, but I want to reiterate it again because it's not going to take a whole lot to scratch this. So you want to be careful with it, transporting it. When I take vehicles out, I put them in a tote. So maybe in this one, I would wrap it. Maybe if it will fit in one of those 2-gallon storage bags, freezer bags, possibly. Maybe get in there. So I want to show you the other thing that I did. I finally got the gas cap snapped on there. You kind of have to get the notch in the perfect spot and push it down. And I got little, I don't know, dog. Is that dog hair? He's not even supposed to be in this room when I'm not in here. On the trunk here, I did order a battery for the battery pack case here. I love that it looks like a little suitcase. So I did get on Amazon and order one of these 800 milliamp or whatever amp, whatever. batteries is the same one that he recommends in the instruction kit, and you put it in there, and the bottom just kind of snaps on, and you can open it from the top. But I just like that it looks like luggage that comes with it. So you can see there's room in there. You could put maybe some cotton balls or something in there with it if you didn't want it sliding around. So I am really happy with it, and I have one issue with it that I can't really get over. The wheel does not turn. It was advertised as the wheel turns the steering. I had to research that, and I couldn't remember what the was said about it in a couple other videos that I watched. So I needed to look that up. I didn't want to put much pressure on that wheel, and evidently in the final production it does not turn. That's fine with me, really. I don't need it to turn. The wheels turn. That's perfect for what I need. I don't really need that linkage in there, honestly. I just, it was probably addressed in the past, so I'm not going to knock it and, come out and say, oh, we were told it was going to do this and it doesn't. I don't really care. It's been pointed out before I got to it, so I don't want to make a mistake with trying to point out an issue that's known. It's just it wasn't really known to me. Not a big deal. So we got our battery in it. We got our hopefully that won't be too loud in that mic. Sorry if it is. You got the remote handy or the volume rocker. Cut it down for a minute. My one and only issue with the car that is disappointing is right here. As I find the switch, there's the switch. Okay, so I have a tail light out right here. There's three LEDs on each side, and as soon as I plug mine up, I have a tail light that is out. And this panel does come off, so you can see that center light is out. It's pretty disappointing. Now, does it make me want to throw this thing or whatever, or not buy any other products? Absolutely not. It is just a little bit disappointing, and I feel like it probably will be corrected in one way or another. I have reached out to the company that I purchased my racer from. Before I reached out to them, I did reach out to Ramen. I got a response back from Ramen advising me to reach out to the company, probably because they have a policy in place for this sort of thing. And I did get an email back from the company that I bought it from. It is an online legit toy store, not an independent seller. And I had sent Ramen pictures of it. They asked me to send them the same pictures, so I sent those guys pictures and actually took a couple more pictures and sent it in. I just did that today, so I'll see what the response is. I don't know what will happen here because there's not any more of these that I've been able to find anywhere. As far as I can tell, I bought the last one that was available from a partner retailer. I'm sure there's some stores that probably have them somewhere. But as far as partner retailers that are distributors for this, I got the last one as far as I can tell. So I don't know what the fix would be. I was hoping maybe this was something that had happened before and they had a quick fix for it. But really, what it amounts to is this diode is either one burnt out or two not making a good connection. I don't know which it is, and I'm gonna I'm not taking it apart myself. I mean, not gonna attempt to do that. I want to wait and hear back from the company and from whatever the warranty is. I don't really want to send it back because I love it and there's a finite amount of these guys. So whenever I find out what the fix for it is, I'll update you guys. Um, it's not really, I mean, it is, like I said, it's disappointing, but it has not turned me off of Ramen's products. This thing is absolutely awesome through and through. But when you start putting the lights and the electronics and stuff, every now and then you're going to get one that does that. I'm sure somewhere there's a HISS tank that had faulty lights. And I feel like that's probably one of the problems with the delay on the Dragonfly. So just wanted to point that out. Has anybody else that's got one of these experienced an issue with the lights anywhere? I could not find anything. I could not find anything online. I thought maybe I would find a thread or something where people might have had the same issue, and I could not find anything. And this hood is really hard to get your nail under. So I could not find anything about this being an ongoing issue with it. So it's just my luck. In the same way I get mole rats that the arm falls off of. So there's your Ramen Racer. I am going to use my other camera and try to get some video. I'm going to run through real quick of what the inside looks like. But I absolutely love this thing, even with the couple of little nitpicks that I've got with it. What I'd buy it again. I don't know if I'd buy one knowing I'd get one with the tail light out, but if you've ever owned a 60s model car, you pretty much always have a tail light out anyway. They, for whatever reason, on these old cars, the tail lights were so big, they made the tail lights so long on these old cars, they all had at least three bulbs in them. I had a 66 Riviera, and it had many bulbs in it, and seemed like I always had one out. So there she is, Ramen Toys Ramen Racer. I absolutely love it. I hope I can get my issue with it resolved. I have other stuff ordered from Ramen I'm looking forward to, and I'm not canceling any of it. Um, I know they stand behind their stuff. And there's also a bunch of cool upgrades that are getting ready to come out for this thing in another 10 days. And I can't wait to see what I might be able to buy to add on to it. So, Ramen Racer, guys, is it worth the money? It's definitely worth what you could have bought it for originally. Is it worth paying double roughly what they're selling for? That's going to be up to you. Watch some other reviews other than mine and see what you think. I don't know that I would have paid $400, $500 for it, but for retail or slightly above, to have this on the shelf, put it with some figures of different lines because it is complimentary, as we discussed. I would definitely pick one up if you can find one if it's within your means. Do some video on the interior a little bit, and I will see you guys next time. If you like the video, like what I'm giving you guys, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done that. I would appreciate it. Get me out there a little bit more. Let me know what you guys think of the Ramen Racer down in the comments. I try to answer all of them. Might take me a little bit, but I do try to get to them just as soon as I can. So, see you guys next time on 3 Star Draw.